Apparently today we're starting in the van. Had to do a little bit of running around. Had to. Well, there's actually 2 stops I needed to make, but this third stop, since I was in the neighborhood, good freaking will. So, I've been to a few Goodwills recently, and they don't really have very much stuff, which is interesting because all of their donation drive-thrus are backed way up, which means they're getting a lot of stuff, so I don't know where it's all going. When I worked for these guys years ago, they told me that they throw away about 80% of everything that's donated, so I'm not sure if they're just disposing of everything or what's going on, but let's go inside. I'm looking for something very specific. So what I was looking for, I'm trying to find one of the original wired USB Apple keyboards, because when the construction started, my desk got moved and I can't find the keyboard anywhere. Most of the Goodwills don't have a lot of stuff right now, but this one, I was certainly not expecting to find a Nixie clock. It's broken. You can see some of the glass is missing, like on this one, and it rattles. But I think I can get replacement Nixie tubes for these. There are companies that make cheap knockoffs. So yeah, we won't be plugging it in because of high voltage. But I'm gonna take the thing apart and see if we can get that thing working. Also, I found 2 of these ring lights. They were $15 each, but they come with these tripod stands that are actually pretty solid and compact. These are technically made by a toy company, I guess. Whatever. I plugged in the lights and they seemed to work, so whatever. Useful stuff. Didn't find a keyboard, but yeah, I think I might, running over stuff. I might have to resort to eBay to find another one of those keyboards. I found another one in the house, but then some of the keys weren't working and I took it apart and tried to fix it, and they're not really fixable, so anyways, whatever. I got one more stop to make, and then we're gonna head back to the house, and I think I have some random stuff to talk about. And then we're also going to preliminarily take a look at the Bounder and see how difficult it'll be to do an RNet swap on it. Kind of plan things out and then order some parts. Why is it so difficult to order a wheelchair? Wait, hang on, let me. Okay, so I'm getting an F3. I think it's being ordered. Actually, hang on a second. Let me grab one of these lights over here. Oh, dirt in my eye. All right, USB cable. Apparently I'm honking the horn on my chair. Yeah, so anyways, I might as well talk while I'm doing this. I just got off the phone with the DME and also Permobil rep. I'm getting an F3 as opposed to the F5. Couple of reasons, I guess. One, the F5, now I'm not, let me preface this by saying, for my use case, the F5 is not a bad chair at all, but for my use case, oh, how do you adjust this thing? Okay, now I need a battery. For my use case, I realized that the F5 is a little bit wider and a little bit longer. Hey, I think we can change the color. Yeah, you've got different colors and stuff. So we got a little bit of light now. It's not the brightest thing in the world, but again, it is a toy. Actually, it looks pretty bright on the camera. Anyways, the F5 is a little bit longer and the drive wheels are a little bit further forward. Now, I drive a van, I drive from my chair, and a problem with this F3 that I'm sitting in, as opposed to the old C300s, when you get an Easy Lock plate on the bottom, that's the plate that goes on with the bolt that sticks down and interfaces with the tie down in your van, that bolt is further back because of center of gravity. You don't want the thing to like tip forward and stuff. On the F5, the drive wheels are further forward by like maybe an inch or something, and that effectively puts your Easy Lock pin even further back. And the chair has really good suspension, but as a result of that, your ground clearance is going to fluctuate. There's about 3 inches of ground clearance stock, and the EZ-Lock bolt takes up about 1.5 inches. So if you're going over a door threshold or other things like that, that pin's going to get in the way. My thought was I could get the 5 Series and kind of use it as an all-around chair, like if I go trail hiking or doing other stuff, you know, but with that EZ-Lock bolt on there, that would basically catch on everything all the time, which it still technically will, but not as bad on the F3. Also, the chair is a little bit wider. And I was noticing when I was driving around a little bit ago, I looked down, my left tire is right against the side of the floor drop in the van. So if the chair has to move over like 3/4 of an inch or even an inch or whatever it works out being, I don't know if that 3/4 is split across the whole width of the chair, in which case it would only be half of that. But anyways, it puts me in a driving position so that I'm not sitting in front of the wheel. I'd be slightly offset. Also, I guess caster flutter is kind of a thing on the 5 Series chairs. Well, specifically the F5. I know the M5 can have caster flutter issues, but because of the length of the wheelbase and how the drive wheels are further forward, there's more weight on the casters, and I guess they're more susceptible to fluttering. Anyways, I decided that the F3 is going to be the one to go with for now. I think it is possible to retrofit the shocks, the oil dampened shocks from an F5 onto an F3. So if I can do that for at least the rear two, that's going to get me the better suspension. That was one of the things. And also, the DME can't figure out how to get me a price for the upgrade from an F3 to an F5. I've been trying for over 2 weeks now. And anyways, I don't know what that's all about, but I'm just like, I'm done. I need a chair. I've been trying to do this for a long time. And yeah, I know the F3 will work, and like someone was saying the other day, it's a known quantity. The 5 Series has a few different little things, which would be cool, but I was also thinking in this case, with the extra width and length of the chair, I'm gonna be moving at some point, I don't know when, you know, also potentially setting up a bus to live in, so having a slightly more compact base, which 3/4 of an inch or 1.5 inches or whatever total doesn't sound like much, but if you use a chair, you know there's a big difference. So I think we're gonna go with that for now. I'm gonna try and mod the suspension on it when I get it. I am buying a seat elevator that is going to cost me $1,500. Is what it is. I kind of need it to like cook and do stuff like that. So yeah, he said it'll take a couple days to get a revised quote. Then they're going to put the order into Permobil, and then it takes about 3 weeks of build time for delivery. So yay, I think I ordered a chair. I was just watching through some of the old videos, and the stuff with the forefront and all that, and the old DME, I don't know. It's been an interesting rodeo. I'm trying to remember, I think it was July of 2019 when I first started the process of trying to get a new chair. And then I ended up with that forefront, and then it took almost a year to get that thing returned. And now it's been another year before finally ordering a new one. Yeah, I mean, I know there's other places where this stuff can take longer, so I'm not complaining. I mean, I'm finally getting a chair, and I've had something that kind of works in the meanwhile. This F3 I'm sitting in is not happy though. If I have to use this thing for more than about a month or so, I'm predicting I'm gonna have some motor failure. And the seat elevator on this, well, here, listen. I'll lift it up and then lower back down and you'll hear what I'm talking about. All right, feast your ears on this. Excuse me. So yeah, this chair has only got about 600 miles on it, but it's had a rough life even before I got it. It was put in storage and parts were ripped off of it and other things were put back onto it. And I got it with about 3 miles on it, I think, but I think it didn't have the stock parts and things on it. So anyways, this chair is gonna need some work if I have to continue using it. Oh, that's the other thing. They figured out a way to mount my custom backrest to the new chair using the direct backrest adapter or bracket or something. We'll see how that works out. Supposedly on the 3 Series chairs, you lose some seat depth. So we'll see. Yeah, but making progress or something. We interrupt this blog for a quick trip through the Mexican food drive-thru. That's right, muchas gracias. The best and worst thing ever. All right, we've got a couple packages to open. Not sure where my knife went. And the battery says there's 4 minutes left. Well, let's hurry. So the first one here, I'm pretty sure is coffee. It kind of sounds like it when I shake it. But the question is what kind? I actually got this probably 3 weeks ago, but it's been sitting in the cabinet over there because yeah, I've been busy living on the front porch of this house. Oh, it's the Revolution Roast. That's a new one. Smells good. Okay, so perfect timing, as I always say, because I just ran out of coffee. I'm trying to think if there's a time I've opened coffee that I haven't said that. Anyways, complex spicy dark chocolate. Excellent. We'll try this out. Probably by the time this video goes up, I will have brewed a batch of it, and I'll let you know how it is. This next one, I'm not sure. This came in a Walmart box. I think I might know who this is, but we shall see. Packing peanuts in a bag. Oh, it's more test equipment. No way. Power cord. I'm always a sucker for test equipment. Is this a function generator? Yeah, it is. Sweet. So I think this came from the same person that sent me the oscilloscope over here. You know, it's really funny that this function generator just showed up because I was at a Vintage Radio Club auction this weekend or last weekend or sometime, and there was a giant one of these, like the military version, in a giant metal case. I think I bid it up to like $5, then let someone else get it. This will fit on my desk a little bit better. No way. Cool, so how do I explain what a function generator is? It basically generates signals that you can use for testing things, I guess is the easiest way to say it. Okay, this is blinking red. Thank you very much for this. I'm starting to get quite the collection of test equipment for the bench over here, which is awesome. So this doubles as a stand, so it'll sit on the desk pointing up a little bit. And we've got some various connections on the back here. Oh, we can do external triggering too. Nice. All right, cool. Well, thank you for this. Once I get back to the point where I can actually use this house I'm paying for, we'll probably get to some projects that are going to use this and the oscilloscope and everything else. Yeah. All right, well, on to the next thing. You'll have to pardon the mess in here. I got a bunch of stuff delivered. I was trying a new action camera. It's the XTU S3. It has like a front screen and a back screen and all this stuff. Turns out it's garbage. The HDMI output on it does not include the audio. And yeah, the thought was I'm using the GoPro with the LiveView Solo, which is what I stream with now. And GoPro has this thing where the HDMI port constantly breaks. Right here. So I was trying to find another camera, but anyways, that one's going back to Amazon. So, back to the Bounder. What we're going to do here, let me raise this seat elevator up, and let's take a look at the wiring. As far as an RNet swap goes, we have to basically pull all the electronics out. We've got the main controller right here, which is Dynamics DX2, and we've got the seating controller here. Now the seating controller uses these weird connectors. Well, they're actually not that weird, but they're not RNet compatible. So what I would have to do is, I've got wiring on another chair that I don't mind cutting apart, but I don't want to chop this wiring. I did notice, however, on this chair, almost everywhere uses these little power pole connectors. These just come apart, and yeah. So my thought is, if I buy a bunch of these power pole connectors, I think if I trace this wiring out, pretty much every single actuator everywhere on the chair, you can see we've got another one here, and there's another one over there. It's a yellow one. And there's another one down here. My thought was that I could potentially, since Bounder has several control systems, I think these are just pigtails. So I think if I follow those wires around, I should be able to unplug them somewhere at one of these little power pole connectors. So we're going to slide the battery box out here a little bit and see if that is in fact the case or not. But all the wiring on this is very well tucked in and bundled up. Okay, we got another one up here. Oh yeah, can't really see it, but down here there's a bunch of power pole connectors as well. Okay, well that was actually pretty easy to check. All right, I think the plan is I'm going to order a bunch of those little power pole connectors. They're Anderson ones. Well, anyways, I'm gonna look online and see if I can find the appropriate ones that should work. And then I think what I can do, I've got an Arnet 120 amp controller and a seating controller. And I think we should be able to map all the functions out. I'll have to change the joystick over. This thing does have a lighting output on it. So does the Arnet module that I have. The only thing I'm not sure about is disconnecting the brakes. I need to check the wiring and see. I think Bounder might be... I don't know if there's an input on the controller that's doing that or if they're just powering up manually. Anyways, I say all that to say, now that we've looked at this, it is doable. Question is, how much work is it going to be? Yeah, well, I'm going to start ordering some parts on Amazon. I need to get a good set of crimpers and some of those little connectors and stuff. Yeah, I think we're gonna try and do it. The thought is, since I am getting a new Bounder at some point, I'm gonna be selling this one, and sunlight. I would like to put this one completely back to stock before I sell it. All right, I think we're gonna give this project a go. I'm gonna get some parts ordered, see when they arrive here, and then sometime soon, we're going to start doing an Arnet swap on this off-road Bounder. All right, cool. Just got a text this afternoon from the contractor. I'm gonna try and remember that everyone doesn't watch all of my videos, so we just had the roof replaced. All these boards here got blown out, and it looks like garbage. I mean, the work was fine, but there was no finish work done. Anyways, I got a text and they were saying, oh yeah, we wanna come do some painting. And I'm like, no, So this desk right here with my computer on it, all this had to be moved and plastic put up. And anyways, like I said previously, I'm putting a moratorium on any more work being done. I'm meeting with an attorney tomorrow, which by the time this is published has probably been at least a day or two ago. And yeah, apparently there's... Actually, I probably shouldn't say this next part because I get the feeling that certain people may have discovered I'm on the internet, and yeah, anyways, we'll leave that there until other things happen, but there's a very high likelihood that I'm gonna have to move out of this house suddenly, and it may have something to do with, how do I put this? I won't say code violations, but all this work was done without permits being pulled, and yeah, we'll just leave it at that. I'll find out later this week about that. Anyways, things are interesting. I don't care. I'm happy and flowery now at this point. If and or when all this stuff does happen, I will have multiple resources at my disposal for finding a new place to live and moving expense coverage and all kinds of fun stuff. So I don't care. This house is kind of ruining my health, so hey, whatever. I'm happy to move on and do something else. I don't know when I'm moving. It's just something that's out there. Maybe it's a few months down the road, maybe it's at the end of the week, I don't know. So we'll see. Anyways, I think that's it for the updates for now. I've learned, this clip's 10 minutes long, I've learned that talking to the camera for too long at once makes videos hard to follow. So anyways, here's what's next. No idea what that is. Yeah. There's zip ties on the floor. All right, we've kind of jerry-rigged two of these lights together into one thing. We've got the two controls for them here, so I can hit the buttons on these. And we used some electrical tape and zip ties and kind of mounted them together. They both plug into this battery bank. And yeah, so now we sort of have a light. It's not super bright, but it's enough for the camera to recognize. And if we turn it off, yeah, see? It actually does something. Yay, Goodwill. Oh, yeah, and this Nixie tube clock. So this is definitely a very cheap knockoff, and as you can see, You know, some of the glass is broken on there. I'm still going to take it apart. I think, are these glass? Yeah, those are glass. I know they do make replacement, I think they're LED versions of these. They still look really cool. I'll put a video clip or a photo or something in here so you can see what I'm talking about. But yeah, I wasn't expecting to find one of these at Goodwill. It's kind of in a custom project box. It's got some little rubber feet on it, and then there's the 2 buttons on the back, I'm assuming, to set the time. But yeah, we're not gonna do it right now, but I'm gonna take this apart and see if I can get it working, because these things are sweet. Alright, let's check out this coffee. I'm a sucker for new flavors, so we'll see how this is. It smelled amazing. Although smell is not always an indication. Let's try it. Yeah, that's super good. Although I'm not sure anything from Just Coffee Co-op or whatever it was called is actually terrible, but these were greasy beans. Here, let me show you. I'm not 100% sure what the difference is, but some beans are like dry and some of them are like greasy. We'll zoom down into the bag here. Yeah, see? See how they're all shiny and greasy and awesome? I don't know what that is or what it means or whatever, although there's a shaft of light coming down from the ceiling. But yeah, this stuff is good. If you want some decent coffee, this stuff right here. Thanks for sending it, as per usual. People always ask me why I have a hairdryer. Well, it's for exactly things like this. This is the old streaming box that had the cooling, it's hot. It had the old cooling fans and everything. I smelled my shirt burning. But I've got this 30,000 milliamp hour cell phone battery pack in the bottom, and I used a bunch of this 3M foam mounting tape, which for some things you can kind of pull it loose, but I used a lot of tape, and that's a pretty big battery. So all you do is heat the glue up, and then it makes it a lot easier to remove. I mean, it doesn't make it easy, but it's easier, roughly. I may have gone a little bit crazy with the mounting tape on that one. Looks like our battery case is still intact. Yeah. Alright, well, guess now I can peel all this stuff off of here. Yeah, I'll do that later. There's always tomorrow. Okay, I just had a meeting with a new lawyer. My other ones recommended this guy because he's more versed in landlord-tenant stuff. And good and bad. Again, I probably shouldn't say too much because people might be watching. I have secret plans. I will come out on top of this situation. I will say that. Yes. So, in celebration of that, I started getting rid of stuff. See? The stereo's gone. I'll see if I can drag up a picture of what that used to look like over there. I've started selling things and calling people I know and be like, hey, do you want some stuff? So yeah, we're working on getting rid of things right now. Oops, who's texting me? On my way. Okay, contractor's on his way over. Short story of the situation without divulging too much. I do have to allow them to come in and finish the work. So contractor's cool. He'll do whatever I need or kind of work with me or whatever. Turns out I do have to move the desk again. But they're going to do some painting of all this stuff and sanding and making more dust and stuff. As far as legalities go, I do have to let them come in and work without creating unreasonable delays or causing, well, they can't come in a manner that causes me an undue burden with like work or whatever, but I also have to allow them to complete it in a timely fashion. So anyways, contractor's gonna be here in a few minutes. We're gonna figure out how long this is all gonna go. I don't think it's gonna take more than 4 days. They did prime these boards, but I know since they're brand new 2x6s, the tongue and groove stuff, it's gonna take a few coats of paint. And then, I guess this bathroom, so all the plastic is gonna get put back up again. So the entire ceiling in the bathroom in here is gonna have to get painted. Wow, that actually looks pretty terrible. And then same with the closet here, which means I get to move all my stuff again, which is fine. It's all mostly still in boxes. Actually, since I've started kind of moving stuff around, I could just put these out here in the living room where the stereo used to be. Anyways, yeah, situation's dumb as per usual, but again, I'm gonna slip in at the last moment and everything's gonna be fine. Yeah, so I'm in a good mood. Last month has been obnoxious. Oh, I did get a free month of rent. I don't have to pay rent next month, so that's something at least. I don't even know how to explain what's going on because I don't even know. Yeah, well, I'm gonna talk to the contractor, figure out what he thinks, and then, yeah. I will check in a few minutes, which will be a split second for you guys. The magic of editing. All right, it's a few hours later, and there still is no light in here. All right, contractor said, well, I told them they could start working on Friday. No earlier than 8 a.m. though. He said he's estimating 2 days to paint, so I'll consider that 3 or 4 days. I didn't think of something though. I was chatting with someone on Twitter, and they were like, oh yeah, paint fumes. Anyways, I could have put it off another week probably, but at this point, I think I'd just rather get the stuff done. Until the roofing project is officially complete, I'm required to let the contractors in and the owner in and everything. So I think we're just gonna get it out of the way and get it done with. Yeah. But we got the TV on the little Rubbermaid cart over there. That thing has been the best money I've ever spent. I think it was probably $150 for that setup. I'll link to the video if I can find it, but I bought that thing probably 3 or 4 moves ago and got the Harbor Freight wheels put on it. Yeah, that thing's been a trooper. Rubbermaid service cart. Oh, and yeah, the Harbor Freight wheels are the key. The little tiny hard plastic wheels that they come with rattle everything to death, and the Harbor Freight wheels. Can't believe I'm saying Harbor Freight wheels are good, but yeah, definitely the way to go. At this point, I think I'm gonna make some more coffee. I'm not sure what the plan is for this evening. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Whatever. I'll pick up the camera in a bit.